Football Dad's Army. So I was asked a question yesterday about Arsenal, and a friend of mine, he said to me, do you think, he said, do you think Arsenal can go one better next season and win the league? And I thought about it for a second, and I thought, there's a little bit of worry about us being a bit slow in the transfer market, even though we know that Ricardo Calafiori is, although it hasn't gone through officially just yet, we know that even Fabrizio Romano is saying it is basically done and dusted. There's some terms between Bologna and Basel about the 50% sell-on clause. There's a clause that they've got to negotiate with, and that's going to be ironed out pretty soon. And I reckon by the end of this week that he will be officially an Arsenal player and join up with the rest of the squad in America for the pre-season tour. And, I do believe that we're going to add more players to that squad. We're linked to a whole host of players, and I do believe that we're going to we are going to sign some more players, a right winger, probably another midfielder, and a striker. So with that in mind, I was thinking, you know what? Yes, we can. We're only going to be stronger. Players like Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, William Saliba, they're going to be even stronger, even more experienced, and even better than what they was last season. And we do need to do that. Ultimately, it was a game at Aston Villa, or against Aston Villa, that we lost the title when we lost to them. And, it was a managerial mistake from Mikel Arteta, which half the Arsenal fan base that I know at least was up in arms about, dropping Kai Havertz to the midfield to make room for Gabriel Jesus coming back from injury, to put him up front. And, Kai Havertz was doing so well up front before that happened. We should have just left things as they were, and we probably would have won that game against Aston Villa and ultimately won the league. We lost the league by 2 points, finishing on a record 89 points. 89 points, and, for like, at the last 30 seasons, that would have been going up to win 20 of them. So, I think we can go that one stage, one bit better, do that one stage better, and finally bring glory back to the Emirates Stadium, or back to Arsenal, because, we ain't always been at the Emirates Stadium, obviously Highbury, but bring glory back to Arsenal and back to the fans what we've been waiting over 2 decades for. And I know it's been a bit of a rough ride under Mikel Arteta, but the last 2 seasons, we've been runners up to the greatest team in the world, and you can't take that away from Man City either. If Man City ain't involved, we're winning the league, ain't we? Who knows? They might not be involved in after next season, because we know that the 115 charges, that trial starts in November, and it's going to be sorted out by the end of next season. So we never know. They could be relegated back to League Two or something like that. We don't know. Big fine maybe, but the fine ain't going to be a problem for them. What will hurt them most is obviously being kicked out of the Premier League, probably demoted down to League Two, which, for Man City fans will be a big kick in the nuts. But, things have happened. Look at Rangers up in Scotland. I don't know if it was a similar charges or whatever, but they got booted out of the Scottish Premier League, and they've managed to claw their way back and fight in Celtic for the Premier League, Scottish Premier League title again. So I really think we've got a great chance. I mean, we're going to have this new defender anyway, Ricardo Calafiori. We've got Julian Timber, who, don't forget, only played once for Arsenal last season. He's going to be like a new signing, another defender. So that is the defence sorted, and it looks pretty strong. I know Tommy Arsu's injured. He ain't gone to America with the rest of the squad. Kieran Tierney as well. He's back. He got injured on international duty with Scotland. But we've still got Jakub Kiwior. I think we're going to be keeping him now. I don't think we're going to be selling him. There was rumours about him leaving the club, but I do believe now we're going to have to keep hold of him because of the injuries to Tommy Arsu and Kieran Tierney. They're not going to be easy to sell either. Not Tommy Arsu. I think Kieran Tierney was going to be on his way out of the club, but now he's injured. We're not going to be able to sell him, so he's going to be with us next season, I do believe, unless he gets over his injury in time for the transfer window before it closes. So Anyway, we've got a great defence, and we've got like Declan Rice. Right, he's England. The England performances weren't always top draw, but in the Premier League last season, he was one of our best players. You know, along with Saliba, he was probably, you know, one of the players of the season in my eyes. I really think he had a great season, and I know there's some Arsenal fans that disagree with that, but I really think he had a great season along with Saliba as well. Another great season for him, and we know that he is going to be, anybody out there, I don't think is going to be able to disagree with that William Saliba is the best defender, best centre-back, centre-half, whatever you want to call him, in the Premier League. There's no one to match him. No one. Not Van Dijk. Van Dijk had a poor season, in my opinion, as well. I mean, he was at fault for Arsenal's goal, wasn't he, as well, when we scored against Liverpool, fumbling it, bumping into the keeper. Was it the keeper or the other centre-back? I can't remember exactly. But, yeah, he made a big boo-boo of that, big bozo gene, as a few Arsenal fans like to call Gabriel, say he's got a bozo gene in him. Yeah, every defender's got a bozo gene in him, but that game, Van Dijk definitely had the bozo gene in him, didn't he? So I honestly believe, I really do, the rest of the squad as well. Martinelli had a poor season, but Trossard stepped up. Jesus injured for most of it. You know, there's a possibility Jesus might be moving to Saudi Arabia, I've heard. What do you think of that one? Yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. Well, do I want him to stay? Well, the jury's still out for me. I know I'll rave on about him when he first came to the club. Although he didn't score a lot of goals, he was making room for other players to score, like Saka and Odegaard, Martinelli even. You know, and I think his injury record and is a bit questionable, and I think that it may be time to move him on. Kai Havertz, the second half of last season, you know, surprised everybody. At first, I couldn't have him. Every time I see his name on the team sheet, I was looking at that and I was thinking, oh no, what's going to happen here? But, you know, ultimately, it paid it. It come into fruition. He just started scoring goals, started laying the ball off, started playing very well, started playing better than he ever did at Chelsea, and it worked for us, didn't it? And that's why it was a big kick up the nuts when Arteta decided to drop him back into midfield, take him away from that false nine position that he started really playing well in, and then we lost that game to Villa and ultimately cost us the title. But I honestly think this season there's a lot hanging over Man City's head. I don't know if it's going to affect the team. Pep Guardiola still hasn't confirmed whether he's going to stay on beyond next season. So he's obviously scratching his head thinking, I don't know what's going to happen here. All the players thinking the same way. Kevin De Bruyne apparently is going to be leaving as well at the end of next season, because he must be thinking to himself, why would you leave Man City? Like, why would you leave a club that's winning everything? You know, all right, they didn't win the Champions League last season, but they won it along with the Premier League and the FA Cup the season before. They've won 4 Premier Leagues in a row, 7 out of the last 8. So, you know, they're unbelievable. They're an unbelievable team, and I don't understand why, if you're going to be a first-team starter in that team, like standard, why would you leave them? So obviously the players are starting to think a little bit, they're getting a little bit restless, I should say. And yeah, I think it's our chance. This is the best chance we're going to have. I thought we would win it last season. I mean, even the season before, we was top most of the year. And we could picture that. This season, it was one game really towards the end of the season that proper gnaws us up. One bad decision from Arteta. I know we lost games over the Christmas time to West Ham, I think Fulham, but you know we were still running with it. We still bounced back from that. We went and had that break in Dubai. I think it was Dubai, was it? And you know we come back a different animal. And unfortunately, that game against Villa cost us. I know I've said that a few times. Don't get bored, please. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Arsenal can win the league next year?